Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Monday Night Raw review of us, the British Fist. And today, we are in good old England. You probably can't see the flag, but we do have one here. And you know when WWE come to England, they usually don't really bring their A game for Raw. But before we speak any more about Raw, subscribe up above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this down below. And I'm Mr. Parkin. Before you get to your bit, do what you do best, NJ.
What's up?
What's up indeed. Now do it.
Please make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Right on cue, NJ. Now, the first thing I want to say before we do this Raw review is check out our next two Wednesday videos, as we're going to be looking back at past Survivor Series and the moments from those Survivor Series. So just something to get you in the mood for Survivor Series. It definitely got us in the mood doing it. We enjoy doing it. So check out our Wednesday videos where we're going to be looking back at Survivor Series and all the big moments that we saw from Survivor Series from 1987 to 2010.
It was very good to do, so check it out and you'll probably see what we thought was the best matches and the best outcomes.
Yes, indeed. Let's start off with this Raw review because we opened up with none other than John Cena! Basically, he comes out and talks about The Rock, Survivor Series, and who came out and saved the segment?
It was none other than Awesome Truth.
Exactly, yeah. They come out and pretty much saved the segment. Remix! They don't do that anymore, do they?
That's exactly what we needed, because of course we wanted to hear what Cena had to say about his match with The Rock coming up. But we needed Awesome Truth to lighten it up.
Yeah, they said they want to leave a lasting impression in their tag team match tonight. Tonight it was going to be John Cena and Zack Ryder versus Awesome Truth in the main event. Then we had the whole thing with Awesome Truth going out to beat on Cena. And who comes out to save the day?
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, indeed. And then we'll just leave it there. Average opener. I don't really have too much to say about it, to be honest. We then go straight into a Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison match. Dolph Ziggler on a losing streak. John Morrison on a losing streak of his own. This was a decent... This is a match I quite like, because I do think these two guys complement each other quite well. The match got 13 minutes. Ziggler was pretty dominant in times. It was nice to see the US champ finally look dominant, but... You know, who gets the win at the end of the day?
Just that when I was watching this match, my thoughts were all over the place. 1 minute I was saying, come on Ziggler, get yourself into it, looking like a decent US champ. The other time I was saying, come on Morrison, because you're actually getting involved in live TV shows. You're going to get someone as high as Dolph Ziggler, even though he's not really that great. But luckily, we have Dolph staying in his losing thing, and Morrison gets the win.
Luckily.
I think it's luckily, because obviously I think if his contract is running out soon, they need to start giving more some positivity before he leaves.
Well, they've got a new shirt coming out for him, so I expect they'll probably keep him. Personally, I'm kind of opposite to that, to be honest. I think, especially if you're going to have Dolph Ziggler at the pay-per-view for the US Championship, which I assume they're going to have, they kind of need to make him look strong, but at the end of the day, the match was okay. I hate this whole thing they're doing with Ziggler. They might as well just take the US Championship off him and give him to Zack Ryder. He is over with the crowd now, unfortunately. I kind of feel in that Alex Riley slot, wasn't he? Just after they did that push with him and Miz, and he got into the main events. Okay. Hopefully he'll be on Superstars in 2 months' time. But there we go. We had the announcement of a 10-person tag match: Team Orton versus Team Barrett. Just quick thoughts on this. I personally think they should have done it in an in-ring segment, maybe give it some meaning and purpose. But instead, they just announced it.
Well, with the people in this match, they've kind of built it up with each doing their own part.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, I'm thinking Barrett as a lead. Yes, he's got the skills and that, but my thought it should have been Team Cody, just like you've seen in past traditional Survivor Series. It's always been one opponent versus someone they've been in rivalry with.
Yeah, I will say this though. I mean, Team Orton versus Team Barrett. I just wish they would have done this in an in-ring segment, just to give it some meaning. Team Barrett, I admit Wade Barrett's the better leader, but does this mean these two are going to be feuding now or afterwards? At least we have a Survivor Series match. I'm just a little bit disappointed that it didn't get done in an in-ring segment, like 5-on-5 kind of whole idea. It's kind of similar to what they did with the Money in the Bank. They just announced it and expect people to like it. Do you know what I mean?
That's very true. And this was just like, first it came on WWE.com and then announced on TV. And again, it could work out to be a good match. We've got a few more weeks to build. So
yeah, hopefully it will be a good match. Next, we have Mason Ryan versus JTG. this was pretty much going to be a let's get the British guy out there and see how the fans react to him. And Liverpool did not like Mason Ryan, did they? I think that's mainly because us English don't really like the Welsh too much. I don't know. I'm not really sure why the reaction was that. But
I'm not sure it's just that. They were just quiet throughout most of the night. The pop only come later in the night mainly, but it just this match was pretty much dead.
It was pretty much filler, wasn't it, really? Mason Ryan gets the win. I guess he's in that tag match, so you know, it kind of makes sense him getting the win. It just seemed a bit more like filler to me, but jobber match, typical jobber match. We then find out the Michael Cole Challenge will not take place tonight. Oh, who gives a shit? Just give over with this commentator feud shit. And then we go on to Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston for like, what, the 10th time this year? We've seen this now.
And this match, again, too quick, but again, Alberto's got a win after this stupid mess that he has with the Big Show, so I'll say whatever. Yeah,
the match went about 3 minutes. I expected this to be a little bit more competitive, as Kofi Kingston is going to be involved at the pay-per-view in some way or form in that 5-on-5 match. The whole thing was about the post-match, though. You had Del Rio attacking Kofi Kingston post-match, then Punk comes out, and then they cut to commercial. It's like, what a terrible place to cut to commercial. But after commercial, we have this whole long, very long-winded segment with Del Rio and Punk going back and forth on the mic, and it's just like, it just dragged on too much. And it was just like, you know, could you not make this a little bit shorter and to the point?
Well, the thing about this, again, Punk does what he does best, makes good points. And Del Rio's, as much as we want to see Del Rio on mic more, he did make the point that they're a bit stale and says the same thing about his destiny. But we have him saying that he's, Del Rio saying that he's the best at what he is because he's the champ and that's a respect and all that. So it had the good back and forth thing, which you do expect from Punk very much.
Yeah, Punk says he wants to make the title more interesting. Just a shame that this promo to me couldn't be interesting enough. You know, they then attacked each other, and Punk gave the GTS to Ricardo Rodriguez while Del Rio retreats. So
standard for whatever happens to Del Rio. He always retreats and leaves. Rodriguez takes it as standard.
Pretty standard. I just wish this segment wouldn't have dragged on so much, but that is just me. So that's going to be a match at Survivor Series now. Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk. Not too high on this match, but at least it's someone else in the title picture other than John Cena, so I could be happy about that.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
We then have a Muppet video segment. Need we be reminded of the terrible Raw that was last week, and terrible Raw, which was this week as well, because we were watching it live.
Pretty bad, pretty bad.
And then we have more filler. Jack Swagger versus Santino. Follow on from last week. Why is this even on there? Swagger wins via ankle lock in a relatively quick match. At least Swagger wins, I'm guessing, because he's involved at the pay-per-view, so it's good that they're giving him this win. I just feel this is a bit filler-ish. It wasn't needed.
No, so far up to this, there's been lots of filler stuff, and this is when I started to lose a bit of interest, but again, well done, Swagger.
Also, the ratio of wrestling to talking tonight and filler was very, very on the talking and filler side, wasn't it? There wasn't too much wrestling tonight, which kind of disrupts the flow of the show immensely for me, but we'll get more into that on our overall thoughts, because next we have a Divas segment, and you know what people we employ to give you entertainment from a somewhat usual boring Divas segment. Who are those guys, NJ?
The British Fish segments.
Yes, indeed. The Tea Time guys. Take it away, boys. Well, NJ, seeing as WWE came to England today, they just had to have a Divas segment, didn't they? With all those lovely, voluptuous women and the whole Maxim thing. Oh, I'm definitely getting that magazine on next week, eh?
Oh, yes, they put on a good show, but no match, so my interest was here.
Well, my interest was here because at least the cover of Maxim looked very, very voluptuous and sexy, and oh, the Divas of Doom are just a joke now, aren't they?
Yes, they're very poor indeed. You're watching for one match going to nothing.
Exactly. So we end by saying this. Ha ha, ha 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 ha.
Divas of Doom, get better.
And after that lovely segment from the Tea Time guys, always a pleasure to have them on the show, even though we have half of our budget goes to them, but there we go. We then have the Kevin Nash segment, the return of Kevin Nash, the man who was the lowest drawing champion in the 90s.
The thing we're all waiting to see, the return of Kevin Nash. Again.
Johnny Ace comes out and introduces Kevin Nash. Nash pretty much talks about his past with Triple H, about the clique and being friends. But what was his reason for actually attacking Triple H? Did we really get a clear, given, simple explanation?
Well, the nearest thing that he got was Triple H betraying him about the whole clique thing and the whole friendship thing. I got the
biggest pop at Royal Rumble, and I wanted to be the WWE champion. Nah, that ain't happening, brother. That is not happening. Maybe 15 years ago.
It's just with this segment, Again, it's good to see they're still hyping up the National Triple H thing, so I give it that. But again, I just don't think he hyped up the best.
No. Are they going to be having a match at Survivor Series, or is it going to be at TLC? Or
probably push towards TLC.
Yeah, I don't know. It just was a very average promo. He thinks he can become WWE champion. That just made me laugh. Like, yeah, great.
And that's how you play the game.
Indeed. We had no Brodus Clay this week. We advertised him last week to come up.
Damn, that's the highlight of Raw. Where was he?
I know. Where was Brodus Clay? I mean, he could have saved this Raw from being a D+ show. So we got no Brodus Clay, but what we got instead was a backstage segment with Johnny Laurinaitis and CM Punk, and we have Del Rio attacking Punk backstage. It's a nice little segment, making Del Rio look kind of strong compared to what he got done to in the promo segment earlier. So I didn't mind this segment too much. At least it did something for their rivalry. It's kind of intensifying it a little bit backstage.
Yeah, they are. The thing I like about this Raw is that they are concentrating on the WWE Champion. Yeah. They are concentrating on that, and the way they built in Del Rio up on Raw is okay against CM Punk.
Then we get to our main event: John Cena and Zack Ryder, the guy who he hates, plus the guy who we both hate, versus the team we both love, Awesome Truth. So just imagine the joy we got when instead of usual Super Cena booking, Awesome Truth got the win. Woo! For the fucking win. It wasn't a very good win. It was to me, it was a very unimpactful win, but it's still a win. I still think Awesome Truth should be booked stronger, but that's just me, I guess.
Cena took it to heart. He took it nicely. He didn't seem disappointed, no. So I guess they put on a fight where they made Cena look strong and Awesome Truth had their moments. So again, I think it was an okay main event.
What do you think to Zack Ryder in this match?
He did pretty good against Awesome Truth, but maybe he should have done as good as he did because Awesome Truth are the ones who have something important coming up.
Yeah, Ryder is kind of over with the crowd, so I guess he kind of warrants that spot, even though I don't like it. I hear he's getting a US title shot against Dolph Ziggler. They might as well just make him win it the way Dolph Ziggler's being booked at the moment, to be honest.
Again, I'm not a fan of Dolph anymore because I think his losing streak's really damaging him. He's not holding his US Championship the best he could, so drop it to Ziggler.
Yeah, it got a lot of time, this main event. Yeah, it got a lot of time, but at the same time, we lost our interest in it after about 10 minutes, didn't we? It just wasn't the best of main events, but we kind of expect that when WWE comes to England. We don't really expect too much, I guess. So maybe our expectations should have been lowered, but as passionate fans, our expectations are quite high for a company which we kind of, which we want to buy into, as well as, TNA or ROH. So, there we go. Any more you want to say about this main event?
They gave Awesome Truth to win. That's a main thing. So I say look forward to hopefully they continue for one more week. Yeah, definitely. Or 1 or 2 more weeks, however much longer there is to Survivor Series. We have 5 matches announced, I think. So there we go. Overall thoughts on tonight's Raw, then? Really went into it. It didn't really give me much of a positive feeling. Things were not done as good. A lot of it was filler. The only segment that really stood out to me was seeing Morrison pick up a win, John Cena losing, but the rest of it I just didn't care. Yeah, this show for me was boring. I mean, last week's was bad, but this week's was also bad. It just... why does Raw seem to disappoint us so much now? It's just... I don't know, I kind of look forward to SmackDown and TNA every week now, but just saying this, though, the talking to wrestling ratio was incredibly on the talking side, and that kind of hurt the show a lot. There wasn't too much wrestling. I'm not sure. Some of the segments did their job for the pay-per-view, but some of the stuff like the traditional 5-on-5 thing being announced and not like having an in-ring segment is kind of disappointing. Awesome Truth getting the win was good, but again, this show just lacked entertainment, and when they come to England, they usually do this, and it's kind of disappointing as British fans, English fans, isn't it? What's your grade on this show? C-. I'm thinking C-, D+. It just was boring. I fucking hate these Raws when they're boring, but give us your thoughts in that comment section down below. You've heard our thoughts, been very brief about this week's Raw, so get your thoughts in that comment section. And thank you for watching our Raw review. This has been it from the British Fist, which is Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. And all I can say, guys, is thank you very much for tuning into this video, and goodbye.